In the previous episode, we had an incredible day in the mountains, stretching the legs of the new FX Leopard on some Dassies before letting loose with the 22-250 as we managed to drop 4 baboons. Today we are back at it and looking forward to an epic finale to this wild adventure. I always like to bring with one of these gong sets just to do zero checks in the mornings. Like yesterday, for example, that impact of mine was bouncing around on the back of the bucky. We probably stood on it a few times, and I think the right thing to do is just to validate our zero. If the zero is all good, then we know that any misses are totally on us. Pretty much spot on. Alright, we're bringing up one click and be done with it. This morning, we are not wasting any time. We head out of camp just as the sun starts to hit the valley, and we're on the lookout for the grey menace, the vervet monkey. This particular area has an underground river that makes everything thick and green, and the monkeys love this environment. We've been on the road for no more than a minute before we spot a bunch of monkeys within meters of us, and as they dash into the bush, are prepared to take a shot with impact. This is incredibly difficult terrain to hunt in though, with the web of twigs and branches making it very hard to get a clear shot at these energetic little mischiefs that just won't keep still. All I can do is follow them through the scope and wait for one to stop in a gap. Finally, I spot a small clearing on the ground, and as a group of monkeys move towards it, I make a small noise to get their attention. Another one starts moving towards the same gap, and I'm ready for him. Two monkeys to start off the day. Hopefully the scope can pick those up, because I was zoomed basically out to like 8 times. At 8 times the reticle is quite thin, so I don't always get the parallax correct for my eye. So it might be a bit blurry, but yeah, 2 monkeys zoomed all the way out. Just got a small gap where they're running along the ground. Absolutely drilled the first one, and then the second one, it wasn't the best angle. I think I got him more in the back, but that 40 grain slug would have gone straight through and out the front. So alright, we take a bit of a walk and see if we can retrieve those. What a start to the day. We're probably like 50, 100 meters from where we camped, so it's awesome. They're really in the thick stuff here. Just one of them. The other one should have been, there you go, the second one. So first monkey and second monkey. Oh, this one's quite big, male. Blue balls means it's a male. Yeah, this one right here in the back of the head exited, I'm not sure where, but I think out the chin there. So we've gone straight through probably the spine and maybe the lower brain. And then this one, we hit him quite low here in the back, but it looks like it may have exited also somewhere chest or head. So 2 monkeys, like literally 5 minutes as we hit the road. That's a great start. With the air gun put away momentarily, we switch to the more powerful 22-250 and move towards another monkey hotspot. A wide, flat valley floor, carpeted in thick, impenetrable bush and surrounded by mountains. At this time of the morning, as the sun peaks over the mountains to the northeast, the winter chill is suddenly broken, and the monkeys tend to take advantage of this, climbing up into the tops of the trees and bushes to bask in the warmth. Knowing this full well, our strategy is simply to find a high point
and start glassing the wide valley floor for naughty grey faces. And we're about to hit the jackpot.
Oh, same tree. Okay. It's 3 monkeys. And then there was that one peeking its head out the back there. Okay, 309. Gonna go 1 mils. I'm still recording. Dead. We are cleaning up. Absolutely cleaning up with the 22-50. And this is the condition that we want to shoot in. I mean, look at this. It's like full sun. The sun's just hit those trees. All the monkeys are just coming to the top, and we have absolutely harvested them. What an opportunity. And yeah, 3 shots within 100 meters, and then 1 at 309. Perfect.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to blur some of these replays to try to adhere to YouTube's policies. But as you can tell, the little 50 grain nozzler ballistic tips are incredibly effective, and these monkeys would not have felt a thing. They are also very, very accurate, especially on a calm morning like this. This 300 meter shot was a joke for this rifle, and if you pause the scope cam replay here, you can see the bullet with the warped air around it from the shockwave heading straight for the monkey's chest.
So we're taking a bit of a break from the monkeys just for a while. We've come to one of our favorite spots. It's this giant fig tree which gives us some shade, and it's across from a nice big cliff that is full of dassies. So we're gonna just wait, be quiet, glass, see if we can get some opportunities for some shots at some dassies. And we know also that the baboons really like this area. Yesterday we saw baboons running up this cliff. The previous time we came here, we actually shot a baboon on that cliff, on that side of the valley, so they are here. So we'll just keep quiet. We'll go about our business shooting dassies with the air guns, and fingers crossed we may even get a bonus baboon. Okay, I see a dassie there. According to the Helix 1500, it's 115 meters, which will be 2.6 mils. And we've got to hold for a bit of wind because the wind is pushing through this valley. It's hard to tell which way it's coming, but I remember last time it really had more of an effect than we thought.
I hold about 3/10 of a mil for the wind, only to have the slug fly dead straight and miss. However, when I get another opportunity at the same spot, I'll hold dead on despite my better judgment, and the wind just takes it.
The wind threw that one severely. Wow. It was bad. Air guns and wind, it's a never-ending story. Wind just sucks. And that's a 40 grain slug. Imagine if that was a pellet.
Finally, I get a slightly closer opportunity, and I make no mistakes this time.
Perfect. 87 meters, dialed 1.5 mils. And that's more into the wind direction. So the shots earlier up there were not only sort of perpendicular to the wind, which is the worst, but they were also quite a steep angle, which means that the wind gradient through the valley here is going to affect them more. This one was a bit lower to the ground and a bit closer. I'm pretty confident though, the wind seems to have died down just now, so if those ones up there do appear again, I should be able to get one, and I'm just going to stay vigilant.
With the wind really starting to pick up at this point, we decide to take a break from the shooting for a little while and just enjoy our surroundings. We are so lucky to call this our office, and sometimes we just need to sit back and enjoy it. Well, we're making good use of our time here in this beautiful area. While I'm sort of scouring the hillside for dassies, we've made some coffee just to, relax a bit and use this time. But it's also nearing lunch, so Nicole's decided that now is a good time to make like a pancake mix and start frying up some pancakes for lunch, which I must say I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, third time's a charm. Well, 122 meters, got it that time. We've been struggling with the wind on those longer shots here, but held perfectly and got him. I must say, one of the best modifications I've ever done to the Impact. I don't even know if it's actually still being made, but this little Crafted lipped Arca rail that runs the full length here. This thing's so nice because it's nice and flat for if you're shooting off a bag or offhand. But then if you want to pop it into a tripod, it balances really nicely there. So it's versatile, it's flat, and yeah, I think it's just a good alternative to a pick rail if you want to go that route. While scanning the rocks for dassies, I spot this massive rock monitor sunning itself, and I zoom into 36 times on the Element Theos. How insanely clear is the scope? If you're looking for an amazing tier 1 optic, the Theos is definitely worth looking at. And the dassies are back. Another one right up. Oh, another one. Whew. Someone's going to feast tonight. Another 2 dassies, 87 meters in that same crack. Awesome stuff. The Impact has been doing incredibly well today. This is the best gun I've ever owned by far. It's always nice to try other things. There's lots of other great air guns out there, but the M4 is the best air gun ever made, without a doubt. Now comes the hardest part of Dassie hunting, the retrieval. So there are 2 dassies that I know we are not going to retrieve. One of them ended up high on this cliff over here, somewhere up there, so we're not going to be able to climb up there safely. And then another one we shot up there and it got stuck up there. So those 2 are out of the question. However, there are 3 that I think should have fallen right down here. Now my main concern is that they might have got caught up in this tangle of roots on their way down. And if they did, it's going to be very hard to find them and get them. But I'm hoping that they might be somewhere down here. That's probably one of the closest shots I've ever taken with the 22-250 at a monkey. It's about 30 meters. Okay, 2 things. Firstly, I've never seen a monkey with such big balls in my life. Secondly, that is what 22-50 does to a monkey. You're probably not going to see it because it's probably be blurred out, but there is no head left. Absolutely insane. If there's ever a good way to die, this is it. He would have not known at all what happened. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This XRS chassis is a game changer on the 22-50. A number of reasons. Obviously the ergonomics, that's important. Magazines, to be able to take these 10 round ARCS magazines, just means we don't run out of ammo that easily, don't have to check magazines. That really helps. But then the full length Arca rail, so I've got the Arca forend, and what we've been actually using this for is, yes, we've got the bipod on here, but when taking some of these steep shots where we need to get extra elevation off a sandbag, I can actually slide this MDT ground pod backwards. Just hooking it in there now. There you go, like that. And then rest this on the bag, and it just allows me to get to steeper angles. So it's extremely versatile. I've got weights in the front at the moment, just a couple weights to help reduce recoil a little bit, just to improve the scope cam footage. And yeah, this setup with the Nexus, which is a nice sort of mid-weight scope, mid-power scope, not too heavy, but still giving you that zoom when you need it. It's everything you need, and as you can see, it's doing the business.
The monkeys here must be really dumb, because another one appears within a stone's throw, and I'm able to drop prone and send him a pointy gift.
Another headshot. Goodness me. That monkey was probably, I would guess, about 80 meters. Looks like he was feeding on something in that tree. The monkeys in this particular area seem a little bit more chilled. But yeah, managed to get prone. Super steady, and yeah, blitzed him right in the head.
No way, he might come up again. There he is, there he is.
That baboon has been eluding us the whole day.
And
It's a lone male baboon. We keep seeing him in the road. He obviously comes across here, steals stuff from the farmers, then goes back up the mountain.
He's very smart.
And a few times today he's eluded us. However, Nicole was very persistent. She kept insisting that I give it another try, And yeah, eventually he stopped on the top of a rock, just saw his head poking over, slammed him with the 22-50 in the head. Yes, that feels good.
Matthew, a whole bunch behind you.
Oh yeah, I got him. Wow. I had to be so patient there. There's a gale force wind blowing now, like proper strong wind. I think I held a mil for the wind there. I have no idea what the range was. I had to guess, but I waited for him to stand up nice and vertically like this, hold a mil, and then I think I killed the slug in. Be very curious to see that that scope cam footage. But now we have 10 monkeys. That's 10 monkeys for the day. That's quite a lot. I mean, we've had to work really hard for these monkeys. It's a culmination of being in the right place at the right time, being quick, but also knowing your gun, knowing the trajectory of your slug. With the scope cam footage, firstly it's harder to actually see through the scope cam. 75% of the light goes to the camera, only 25% goes to my eye, so it's very dark. And then I also have to be very careful about parallax because the scope cam is very fussy with focus. But yeah, I slammed that monkey. What? I missed him. I think the wind pushed it left to right. Flipping 50 grand bullets. They're either amazing or the wind gets you. Oh, that's quite a long shot. But there he is. I'm going to give it about a mil for the wind. Got him with a second shot. That's monkey number 11. It was right at the top of a tree. I think it was like 280 meters or something, pretty far. I held almost a full mil for the wind. The wind's coming quite strong right to left. Missed, and then the second shot, I quickly reloaded as he was coming down the tree. Took a second shot and held a bit less for the wind the second shot, and it sounded like I got him. So that's number 11. That's a lot of monkeys. And yeah, we may still be in for some surprises because there's quite a few moving around this valley. So we're just going to keep an eye, but they're moving further and further, so eventually they will disappear out of range.
Well, the monkeys did not reappear, and with the sun starting to dip low, we decided to call it a day and make our way back towards camp so we can really make the most of yet another gorgeous evening.
Well, we're back at camp and this is our last evening at the spot, so we're going to make the most of it. We're going to get a fire going nice and early and put together a really nice meal to give this place a fitting farewell. Say.
Cheers. Skål.
Well, it's a weird feeling to be done with the hunting. We've had such an awesome time here over the past 4 or 5 days. Got lots of monkeys, lots of baboons. We've got a good few dassies as well. And the best of all, we've got to do it out in the bush in some of the most beautiful terrain you'll ever see. But tonight we're going to really just enjoy ourselves around the fire. We've got some wors, we've got some fillet, some really nice A-grade lamb chops, and of course a good old garlic bread which is already warming up, and a few sides as well. So we're going to just enjoy our time here. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.